Wonderful morning to everybody who have joined here for the discussion of pre-market outlook for the date of 20th May 2026. As we have suggested in yesterday's behavior-based one and forecasted that the market's activity will be in a peaceful manner like yesterday. It was, of course, a clear consolidation within a tight range as we have predicted and even reported. What was the action for the Nifty yesterday means? After opening and confirming above the 23,730, what we have gave us an alert or a indication. It is respected by the way of closing in larger time frames, even in the earlier morning before noon itself. It has confirmed by the way of closing about 23,730, but it could not sustain because of the sell on rise based, because we have yesterday suggested the strategies both can be seen like buy on dips and sell on rise. In that manner, the sell on rise worked well, and based on that rejection, the Nifty somewhat drifted downwards and ended almost near to the 23,600. So that 23,500 anyhow still acting as a very interim based, that means any near term based or immediate, like we can pronounce that as a support. So as long as this 23,500 is being held for Nifty, you can utilize every dip as an opportunity to enter into building long or accumulate even further for your existing long positions. Even today, even though this is going to be a lower opening over 100 points, we are expecting a sharp recovery based actions, but that would be probably a bounce back, not a turnaround based recovery. Anyhow, these buy on dips and sell on rise, both the strategies can be utilized, and the support level what we have already given for the yesterday, the day today also going to act on it, and 23,500 once getting breached after opening lower levels. So after the confirmation of sustainability above 23,500 for at least 15 minutes, it is required. If you are requiring a high conviction based confirmation, means you can make the same in the larger time frame like 1 hour. So if the 1 hour time frame given the signal for the sustainability above 23,500, you can actually predict that the probability will be very high for moving towards 23,600, even for 700 and all. But however, the most of the days movement with an intention to consolidate to get a healthier behavior than just doing volatility. So the volatility, if any comes, means that may be having the less priority and less chances for creating confirmation. But in case of consolidation, if you are seeing whether it may be 1 hour or 2 hour, 3 hour, how long, as long as it is consolidating between this 23,500 and 23,700 zone, means where you can see the chances for getting a sharp and decisive break, particularly on the upside, one can see. So there is no need to get fear about any volatility. If it is giving on the markets or particularly on the Nifty and Sensex, that can be tackled with a strategy we have provided, like based on the levels, you can apply buy on dips near to the 23,400, 500 zones. Sell on rise after it is actually confirming by the way of moving about 23,700. There only you should be cautious. Until reaching 23,700, you can enjoy by the way of holding your profit or even booking the same. So that is what the strategies one can follow in today's market activities. Accordingly, you can take your informed trading decision based on the strategies we have provided. So as pronounced earlier, it is going to be a lower opening for our markets. And the range would be seen between 23,500 and 700 as a maximum with a consolidation. The break decisively requires to see, particularly we are predicting the upside will be getting a higher chances. And from the 23,500, once it is sustaining above, chances for reaching 23,600 to 700 zone. Once it breaks and moves or trying to move above 23,700, the long positions can be reduced or even book the profits totally. And you can wait for the next confirmation like. Because the sell on rise is so active. Anyhow, the favoritism or the buy and dips mostly included. From the positional aspect, this would be a consisting one. The markets are actually witnessing or experiencing that whenever it is trying to close about 23,700, it could not make it. Even a single day in the recent sessions, if you are look back or analyze on the chart for the Nifty, not even a single day it has closed about 23,700. That much importance the level, the interim behavior shift zone is having and acting. So this particular 23,700, as long as it is getting struggle above moving, so the chances for getting attraction of the selling will be there. Once it confirms by the way of closing about 23,700 as an interim shift zone, behavior shift zone. So one can see the chance for turnaround happening on the trend and the bull momentum can be expected when it gives the confirmation after consecutively closing about 23,700. Then we can focus on 24,000 to 24,500 zones thereafter. For the sectors, one can focus in today's movements of market, particularly from public sector banks, PSBs, pharmaceuticals, multinational corporations, metal, oil and gas, and defense. Particularly the export-oriented business doers or business-oriented companies, which are all actually benefiting because of the Indian rupee fall. And the domestic manufacturers will be highly hitting even for the next 1 or 2 quarters. At least we can predict. So that high importers of the equipments, products, service, whatever may be for doing or manufacturing or doing the service kind of businesses in India who are all dependent highly on the overseas countries, particularly with the US and the Europe region who are all actually dependent. The chances for hitting the margin for these kind of companies because of the high rise in the input cost that is due to fall in the Indian rupee. Do not forget, if you are holding any stocks relevant to these sectors we discussed, it is better to slightly at least reduce your position or portion of your shares on that companies or relevant companies to get escape from the a consecutive or a structured manner of downside the stocks are expected to go into phase. So this is another additional information for those who are discussing about whether to hold the existing one or not. It can be used to churn your portfolio and get the favorable one with high momentum and safety. For the stocks, the day traders can focus on Bharat Electronics based on earnings. All the stocks here today listed based on earnings. Bharat Petroleum Limited, Karnataka Bank, PI Industries, Zydus Life Sciences, Mankind Pharma, PG Electroplast, Rights Limited are the companies which are having a chance for moving based on the results on the same direction. One can utilize them. Today's earnings-based information includes the companies like Grasim Industries, Samvardhana Motherson International, Apollo Hospitals, Bosch Limited, Jubilant Foods, Honeywell Automation, Shaman Capital, Whirlpool of India, MedPlus, Metro Banks. So these are all the major companies announcing their March and quarter results. Stop loss maintenance is very core and important too. So that should be maintained on all the trading transactions without. We can now discuss a query following on silver ETF hold or exit line. See, based on the developments we are actually watching, experiencing, the geopolitical tensions and are somewhat cooled off, but it is still there. I mean, this kind of situations, it is better to focus not to build the longs, but you can hold the existing one. In case if you are seeing another 20% correction from your bought price, one can start somewhat accumulating even at the current price. This is what the difference between the strategies we are mentioning. But if you want freshly enter, can wait, or if you are a risky trader, you can enter on the silver and gold at current prices even. But the limited upside only you can experience, not like the before the rally was pushed up the gold and the silver, that cannot be expected in the current juncture. The next query was on Cochin Shipyard. Bought price also mentioned here. So for Cochin Shipyard, if you are holding, so assuming you are holding the Cochin Shipyard shares, so if you are holding means it would be better to hold or even accumulate at current levels, even though it is not getting any reversal kind of activities till now. The exhaustness on the selling side probably happening when it is actually attempting the level of 1,460 or 450. Anyhow, the clear and strong support is lying only around 1,380. But anyhow, you have chance for somewhat entering into the current levels, and accumulation can be made from this level even 1,450 to 60. On the upside, one can see the stock may be getting rejected unless it is decisively closed above 1,550. So about 260 points, you are required to book some profits even though you are having a minimal one. So that's it for the Cochin Shipyard work I have. So thank you for your participation in today's pre-market outlook discussion. We'll be meeting again in the same for tomorrow's one, the 21st of May. Anyhow, this day's high and low also important. So one can watch out in right from the today's one, which has the lower priority in terms of high and low decision making. But tomorrow's one will be very, very crucial. That is, already we have discussed about the important date for this week, like 21st and 22nd, like. So in this way, if you are approaching the market, you should be mining about high and low as a high priority. After getting the direction of breakout on the high or a breakdown on the low, you can follow the same direction. Even the retracements also can be on the same direction one can follow. Thank you. Wish everyone to have a productive day. Bye-bye.